You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. The St. Louis Cardinals are playing the Chicago Cubs right now. This is an NL Central matchup between the first place team in the division, the Cardinals right there, and the second place team, the Cubs. Terrell Cotton's on the mound for the Cubs in this one. 10-2 in 17 starts. He's a former Oakland Athletic. Having a great year this year with the Cubs, a 2.62 ERA and almost 100 innings pitched, and has struck out 76 batters. And Matt Carpenter, the leadoff hitter, stands in. Carpenter was batting toward the middle of the order for the beginning of the year, but coming into this stage of the season, his on-base percentage is near 400, which is the reason why Mike Schilt put him at the top of the order. The Cubs are 68-60 entering play. They're a game back in the wild card standings. Right now the Marlins have the second wild card spot and the Nationals have the first.
120.
And the Cubs are running out of time, but it's not unrealistic for them to potentially come back and potentially take the division lead from the Cardinals. They're just 4.5 games back of the division lead entering play. Carpenter ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Swinging a foul ball, the count now 2-1. Matt Carpenter been on the Cardinals ever since 2012. When he started his career, he was more of an average hitter, but as his career has gone on, he's gone from more of a contact hitter, on base percentage guy to a power hitter and a run producer. But this season, he's excelling at walking and getting on base. Strike 3 called, high inside corner, and Carpenter strikes out to start the ball game.
Batting second, the second baseman, Colton.
Well, you be the judge on whether that was inside or outside. Carpenter didn't love the call, but a little verbal dispute with the home plate umpire. So 1 out top of the first. Here's Colton Wong. Takes outside, ball 1. Colton Wong with just 1 home run this season and 34 RBIs. Still batting second. But there's not much run production from him this year. He hasn't been injured very much all year, and he certainly hasn't been on the injured list, so not many games missed for him either. He's just doesn't have too many high offensive numbers this year. He is, however, a good defensive second baseman. He's the reigning Gold Glove second baseman in the National League. And he grounds that to his counterpart, Daniel Descalzo, who throws to Rizzo. That's out number 2. And with that ground out, we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Cardinals. Already talked about Carpenter and his on-base percentage. That's why he's batting leadoff. Wong batting second. Paul Goldschmidt, an MVP contender, batting third. DeYoung batting fourth. Edmund fifth. Bader sixth. Wieters seventh. Carlson, the rookie, batting eighth. And Jack Flaherty on the mound. And he's the number 9 hitter. So Paul Goldschmidt stands in now, .330 hitter entering play. He also has 42 home runs, good for second in the National League entering play, and his average is good for third among National League hitters. Starting the year, he was seeming like he'd be the MVP candidate for the National League all the way, and he was bordering a triple crown. As he hits that pitch down the left field line, that will stay fair, and Schwarber plays it. Goldschmidt trying for 2. Schwarber throws right there. Tag applied by Descalzo. Out at second is Goldschmidt trying for a double, and that ends the top of the first inning. So no runs on that hit from Goldschmidt, but it's only a single because he got thrown out at second. No runners left on base after a half inning. It's the Cardinals 0 and the Cubs coming to bat. And on the mound for the Cardinals is a former All-Star, Jack Flaherty, who's 11-9 in 26 starts, and he also has a .346 earned run average, which is respectable. All those statistics, over 143 innings thrown this year. He also has 164 strikeouts, which is among leaders in the National League. So leading off for the Cubs is a former Cardinal, Daniel Descalzo. He takes strike 1. He has an OPS of .818. entering play, and he also has an on-base percentage that has been bordering .400 for most of the year. The Cardinals first in the NL Central, 72-55. They lead the Cubs by 4.5 games. This is also game 1 of this series between these two NL Central teams. The Cardinals most recently got swept in a 2-game set by the Blue Jays, and then the Cubs split a 4-game series with the Dodgers. Descalzo down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Too high, counts even 2-2. Eric Ledford, good to hear from you again. I know it's been a while. 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. Jack Flaherty got Descalzo with that breaking ball. That's out number 1. Look at this pitch. It looked like a back foot breaking ball, but it found the zone, too. That was close to the plate. Just a well-spotted pitch by Flaherty. So 1 out. Bottom of the first here is Chris Bryant, former Rookie of the Year and most valuable player in the National League. He has a .286 average with 23 home runs entering play. As he lines that one out to left field. That's Tommy Edman out there making the catch, and now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And with that, we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Cubs. Similar to the Cardinals, the Cubs put Descalzo in the leadoff spot because his on-base percentage has been great this year. The Cubs got Wilson Contreras back about a week ago, and Javier Baez still on the injured list, but his return is imminent. It's coming soon. That's why David Bodie's playing shortstop now, though, and Bodie's been doing so well. I'm sure David Ross will put him somewhere else other than shortstop after Baez comes back, but Bodie doing well this year offensively and has been a productive number 5 hitter in this Cubs order. Now here's Anthony Rizzo, who takes ball 1. Rizzo was a 2020 All-Star. And a lot of National League fans may like him now because he got the go-ahead hit against the American League, and
1 ball, 2 strikes.
he was the catalyst for the National League going on to win their first All-Star game since the year 2012. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Rizzo. Here's the pitch from Flaherty. And the dirt count is even 2-2. On a breaking ball, that one misses inside. Counts full 3-2. There's Wilson Contreras on deck. He'd bat next if Rizzo could reach. Swing and a foul ball. The count's still full 3-2. Three-two pitch one more time. Swing and a miss. Jack Flaherty struck out 2 in his half of the first inning. So the Cubs go down 1-2-3. Still no score after the first inning. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Middle of the order due up for the Cardinals in this half inning. Paul DeYoung, Tommy Edman, and Harrison Bader. Earl Cotton threw 10 pitches and set the Cardinals down 1-2-3, though in an unconventional way. Paul Goldschmidt did get a hit, but he got thrown out at second. So technically the Cardinals did go down 1-2-3, but Cotton gave up 1 hit. Paul DeYoung batting .270 entering play. Power hitting shortstop for this Cardinals team.
No ball,
as he swings and misses, that's strike 2. That was a 90-mile-per-hour slider from Earl Cotton.
At the ball.
All right, misses, counts now 1-2. So earlier in the year, the Cubs swept the Cardinals in a 4-game series at Busch Stadium, and the Cubs got to within 2 games of the division lead, but the Cubs got cold and ended up moving further back. So entering this series, they're 4.5 games back of the division lead.
That is fair.
So DeYoung grounds out, and with 1 out, we'll take a look at the Cubs' defense. Schwarber's out in left, Haps in center, Hayward's in right, Bryant playing third base, the hot corner, Bodie at short, Descalzo playing second, Rizzo, Gold Glove Award winner last year, playing first, and Contreras behind the plate. There's Tommy Edman, switch hitter batting from the left side. Number 5 hitter. He's batting .242 with 7 home runs and 48 RBIs entering play. Edmund, a younger player on this Cardinals team. Naturally, he's a shortstop, and he plays the infield, but the Cardinals have those spots occupied, so he's playing the outfield in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Time to chase that slider inside. Counts now 1-2. One-two pitch coming from Cotton. Download it and threaten the zone. That evens the count now. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Soft liner, but Descalzo able to make the catch before that reached the outfield. So now there are 2 outs on the top of the second inning.
Batting fifth, the center fielder, Harrison Bader.
Here comes Harrison Bader, the quick and defensive center fielder for the Cardinals. His offensive numbers aren't too productive, but he's not in the lineup because he can hit. He's a great defensive center fielder. He can run well too, so if he gets on base, he's a threat to steal. Cotton ahead early. Here's the 0-1 count. Strike 2 on a breaking ball that was left up in the zone, but Bader didn't want to swing at it. No ball, 2 strike count. Here's Cotton's pitch. Swing and a miss. Bader down on 3 straight pitches, and the top of the second inning is over. So the Cardinals go down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. After 1.5 innings, it's the Cardinals 0 and the Cubs 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Middle of the order due up for the Cubs in this half inning. Wilson Contreras, David Bodie, and Kyle Schwarber scheduled to bat. Contreras batting .282, though he missed a huge chunk of the year with a knee injury. Just got activated from the injured list about a week ago. I'm sure the Cubs happy to have him back. Great defensive catcher, great run producer at the plate as well. No ball, 1 strike count. Just a bit low, counts even 1-1. So Kyle Schwarber got moved from the cleanup spot to the 6th spot in the order when Contreras came back. Schwarber been on a bit of a cold streak recently. He hasn't been hitting too well. Tying outside, counts even 2-2. And the Cubs have still stayed afloat without some of their key players. Contreras got hurt, just got activated off the injured list, but he's been out for roughly 2 months. Javier Baez is still on the injured list, and they missed John Lester for about a month and a half. And still they remain in second place, and they still are within reach of the division lead. Just got to find a way to get on a hot streak and hope that the Cardinals get cold. Now, if the Cubs were able to sweep this series, hypothetically, they'd be a game and a half back of the Cardinals at the end of it. Swing and a miss. Jack Flaherty hot to start the night. It's his 3rd strikeout already. It was just a challenge fastball. It was up in the zone, but it was still close enough to the strike zone to hit, and Contreras just whiffed at it. So that's out number 1. Here comes David Bodie, the number 5 hitter. .283 hitter with 11 homers and 42 RBIs entering play, and he also has a respectable .786 on base plus slugging percentage. Already throwing in the mid-90s too to start this game. Got that quick 95-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-1 pitch coming to Bodie. Check swing, but the home plate umpire says he didn't go around and there's no appeal, so the count even 1-1. As I mentioned before, the Cardinals and the Cubs played each other last month. They played each other in a 4-game series. The Cubs were 6 games back when that series started, but the Cubs swept the series. And that was at Busch Stadium, too. So the Cubs got to within 2 games and then got cold after that, but they were right in striking distance but ended up giving up more ground. So they're 4.5 games back entering this series, and still about a month and a half left to play, but the Cubs running out of time. They're also a game back of the wild card spot. Game back of a wild card spot, I should say. They're a game back of the second wild card spot that the Marlins occupy. The Nationals have the first wild card spot in the National League, and the Marlins have the second as of right now. But it's still a tight race between 5 or 6 teams in the National League for a wild card spot. The Padres and Diamondbacks still contenders, as are the Phillies. Colton Wong throws to Paul Goldschmidt. David Bodie out at first. And now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning.
The left fielder, Kyle Schwarber.
We'll bring up the number 6 hitter, Kyle Schwarber, 258 hitter with 21 home runs and 71 RBIs. And at this moment, he's also on a 9-game hitting streak.
Ball 1.
That pitch just misses below the zone, counts 1-0. Schwarber 4 for 20 off Jack Flaherty. He's also struck out 7 times in their encounters. That fouled off counts even a 1-1. Schwarber started his career as a catcher, but ever since being called up to the Cubs, he was converted to an outfielder. He's consistently played left field with the team. Made his debut in 2015 with the Cubs, and instantly became known as or established himself as a power left-handed hitter.
I got to count 2 and 2.
Several times in his career as he tested the limits of this field, and some of his balls were found on Sheffield Avenue. The Cubs recently, too, put in that scoreboard out in right field, the big scoreboard, and Schwarber has hit that plenty of times as well. It's fouled off, the count still even 2-2, but Schwarber in the lineup because he is a massive power hitter and a run producer, and it's been that way for most of his career. Fly ball out towards center field. There's Harrison Bader. He makes the catch. And that ends the second inning. The Cubs go down 1-2-3 again, and after 2 full innings, no score between these 2 NL Central teams, the Cardinals and the Cubs. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Bottom of the order due up for the Cardinals in this half inning. Matt Wieters, Dylan Carlson, and Jack Flaherty. Darrell Cotton has faced the minimum amount of hitters so far through 2 innings, but he has given up a hit. Paul Goldschmidt got a single, then tried to stretch it to a double, but got thrown out by Kyle Schwarber. No ball, 1 strike count. Down low, counts 1-1. Matt Wieters, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He's a former Baltimore Oriole and Washington National. He's played for the Cardinals for a few seasons. He's been their backup catcher. And he's in the starting lineup because Yadier Molina is out with an injury. Molina's estimated time for coming back, 1 to 2 months. So it's going to be a close call whether Molina will be eligible. Not eligible, but whether he'll be back in time for playoffs or not. Soft ground ball played by Bryant at third base. Goes to Rizzo, and Wieters is out to start the top of the 3rd inning.
Batting it, the right fielder, Dylan Carlson.
Here comes Dylan Carlson. Carlson, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He has a .341 average with 3 home runs entering play. He got caught up right after the Major League All-Star break. And since that point, he's been on a tear. Dexter Fowler's been a bench bat for the Cardinals ever since because Carlson has just been doing so well. Carlson got his opportunity, made the most of it, and has impressed Mike Schilt enough to stay in the lineup. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Darrell Cotton still has an efficient pitch count. At this point in the game, he's at 28 pitches. Here comes number 29. It's outside, counts 2-1. Soft ground ball to the right side. Descalzo plays it, throws to Rizzo.
He's out.
And Carlson's out at first. There are now 2 outs in the top of the third.
Batting 9.
I'll bring up the number 9 hitter in the pitcher spot now in the Cardinals order. It's Jack Flaherty. Who has a respectable average for a pitcher, 216. He also has driven in 5 runs this season. He bats here with 2 outs and the base is empty. That's a strike count, 0-1. Jack Flaherty, a former first-round draft pick of the Cardinals, had a breakout year last year where he made the All-Star game and was a huge part of the Cardinals' playoff run. They had a dramatic 5-game series with the Braves and then got swept by the Nationals, who eventually went on to win the World Series. That's a strike called. The count now 1-2.
1-2.
Swing and a foul ball. Count still 1-2 on Flaherty, extending this plate appearance a bit. High fly ball toward left. Kyle Schwarber seems to have a play. He does make the catch. And that ends the top of the third. So no runs on no hits and nobody left on for the Cardinals. Going to the bottom of the third inning, it's the Cardinals 0 and the Cubs 0. There's Heidi Watney, and I guarantee you she's going to pull up a graphic. And it's for the Cubs, their hitting statistics. The Cubs score on average 4.38 runs a game. They also have a 255 average as a team, which is pretty respectable. They have 160 home runs, which is good for 5th among National League teams. So leading off for the Cubs is the number 7 hitter, Jason Hayward. It's the bottom of the order due up for the Cubs. Hayward, Happ, and then Cotton. Jason Hayward, 251 hitter with 8 home runs and 38 RBIs entering play. Hayward, a former Gold Glove Award winner. He's a great defensive outfielder. Started his career with the Braves, played there for 4 seasons, then got traded to the Cardinals. Played for 1 season, then hit free agency, and then he signed an 8-year deal with the Cubs, which he's still in the middle of. Counts 0-2. His offensive statistics have gone down since joining the Cubs, but he's still been a pristine defensive outfielder. That's part of the reason why he's in the lineup. Has a great arm, still pretty quick, and has a lot of range. Counts even 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hayward. Swinging a foul ball, the count's still even 2-2. Hayward was a part of the Cardinals team in 2015 that won 101 games and a part of the Cubs team that won 103 games in 2016 and then won the World Series. Swing and a miss. Hayward down on strikes. Flaherty with 4 through less than 3 innings. 1 out, bottom of the third, and that'll bring up Ian Happ. Switch hitting, versatile player. Playing center field in this game. That's actually where he's been playing for most of the year. Has 21 home runs, which is a career high. He's only been in the majors for a few seasons and has not regularly started. But this season, the Cubs have trusted him to play center field. So far, he's been holding down the position defensively well and provides a big bat in the lineup as well. Albert Almora Jr., who is the better defensive outfielder, arguably, is on the bench. The Cubs going for more of an offensive lineup than defensive. That's where Happ steps in. Happ's still a good defensive outfielder, but not necessarily as good as Almora Jr. Of course, that's still debatable. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Swing and a miss. Happ chased that one. That evens the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Check swing, but that pitch is over the inside edge, called strike 3, and now there are 2 outs.
Batting ninth.
And with that, Terrell Cotton will come to the plate. Has a couple RBIs on the season. Isn't too bad. Batting here with 2 outs and the base is empty. Yeah, Eric Ledford, that is a tragedy. The Oscar Taveras tragedy. Taveras was a rookie in 2014. And he was doing really well for the Cardinals, and he was expected to be their outfielder of the future. And then I believe he died in a car accident after the Cardinals got eliminated from playoffs that year. So the Cardinals needed an outfielder. They traded some prospects for Hayward. But yeah, that was a tragedy. Cubs go down 1-2-3. We'll go to the 4th. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. This game and all of our games brought to you by MLB The Show 20. Top of the order do it for the Cardinals in this half inning. Matt Carpenter, Colton Wong, and Paul Goldschmidt.
1-0.
Matt Carpenter 0 for 1. He struck out in his first at bat back in the first inning. Both pitchers through 3 innings have faced the minimum amount of hitters. Terrell Cotton gave up 1 hit, but that hit was ultimately erased. It was Paul Goldschmidt who got a single, then tried to stretch it for 2 bases, and he got thrown out. Cotton's pitch count still efficient. Less than 40 pitches coming into this 4th inning. That pitch misses inside, counts 2-1. That just misses, counts 3-1. Three-one pitch. That finds the zone, counts full 3-2 on Carpenter. Cotton working his way back. Three ball, 2 strike count. That's popped into the air. The shifted infield might not help the Cubs here. Bryant, a long way to run. He still makes the catch. Well played by Chris Bryant to run that one down. The infield was shifted, exaggerated to the right, so Bryant was essentially running from shortstop all the way to the Cubs railing on the dugout, and he made the catch. 1 out, top of the 4th. Now Colton Wong steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. So the only player to get a hit and reach base for the Cardinals was Paul Goldschmidt. Other than that, everybody was set down.
Look out, 1-1.
Same could be said for Jack Flaherty, although he has yet to give up a base runner at all in this game. Still only 3 innings, though. Hitters seem to still be getting warmed up. Grounded to short. David Bodie throws to Rizzo. That's out number 2.
Now batting, the first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
So 2 outs, top of the 4th. Here comes Paul Goldschmidt. Bumped his average up by a point. It's now at .331. He got a single back in the first inning, but like I mentioned before, he got thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. Paul Goldschmidt leads the National League with 109 RBIs. He's second in home runs with 45, and he is the third highest average in the National League with a .331. So he could still realistically win the Triple Crown. The only issue is that Ronald Acuna Jr. all season has been challenging that Triple Crown. Ronald Acuna Jr. at this point leads the National League in home runs and batting average. Acuna Jr. has a .350 average and 45 home runs. Ronald Acuna Jr. also leads all of Major League Baseball in those categories. He has the highest average and the most home runs, at least at this point in the year. That's fouled off. The count still 1-2 on Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt's 42 home runs as well are a new career high for him. In 2013 and 2017, he had 36 home runs, which was his previous high. Goldschmidt trying again to extend it to 2 bases. Half throw in is a bit weak. So Goldschmidt able to slide in, so that time he gets a double. Goldschmidt now 2 for 2 in the game. Stayed inside that pitch, squirted up nicely, got it into the gap, and fortunately got his way into second base that time. So 2 outs, runner in scoring position, and here's Paul DeYoung. Young grounded out in his first at bat in the second inning. And
Inside.
takes ball one on the first pitch of this plate appearance. Paul DeYoung is still young shortstop of the Cardinals, though he's been around for a few seasons, so he's established himself as the consistent shortstop on this Cardinals team. Swinging a foul ball to count even 1-1. The Cardinals have a talented infield that includes Paul Goldschmidt, Colton Wong, Paul DeYoung, and Matt Carpenter. With the exception of Wong, the infield is more of an offensive infield than a defensively strong infield. Counts even 2-2. 2 outs, runner in scoring position, top of the fourth. Still no score here at Wrigley Field. That's pop foul, so DeYoung stays alive in the plate appearance, and he'll likely see one more pitch, at least one more pitch. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Cotton's pitch. Out in front of that breaking ball, so DeYoung staying alive. Count still even 2-2. That's outside, so the count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, top of the fourth. Tommy Edman would bat next. Cotton does have a base open, so he doesn't have to give in here. Here comes the pitch. Belted to center field. There is absolutely no doubt about that one. Paul DeYoung has hit a home run, and the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead. That's Paul DeYoung's 21st of the season. 106.4 miles off the bat. That was a hanging breaking ball. Cotton did give in. I think he missed his spot with that breaking ball. Definitely didn't mean to leave it that high in the zone. But DeYoung punishes the mistake there. Way out of here. So 2-0. Cardinals lead. Still 2 outs. Top of the fourth. Base is now empty. Here's Tommy Edman. Take strike one right down the middle. Edman, a .241 hitter with a .302 on base percentage and a .678 OPS. He's 0 for 1 in this game. He lined out back in inning number 2. A ball, 1 strike count. That misses outside. Counts even 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Cotton, 24 pitches this inning. He's still throwing strikes.
Outside, that's the ball.
Got 2 outs rather quickly, too, but then gave up the double to Paul Goldschmidt and then had an elongated at bat with Paul DeYoung that ended in a home run. Edman ahead in the count. Check swing, but that pitch finds the zone according to the home plate umpire, so the count now even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Too high, that runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Harrison Bader would bat next if Edman can find a way to reach. Chased that upstairs pitch, but got a piece of it, so that's fouled off. Count still full 3-2 on Edman. Cotton had roughly 40 pitches coming into this inning. He's about to throw his 64th of the game. That's out towards center field. Softly hit. Happ slides, and he makes the basket catch. So that ends the inning, but the Cardinals get a couple runs on a Paul DeYoung 2-run home run. And after 3.5 innings, the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis, top of the order due up for the Cubs in this half inning. Daniel Descalzo, Chris Bryant, and Anthony Rizzo. Descalzo struck out in the first inning against Flaherty. .283 average with 10 home runs and 45 RBIs. Those are his stats now. His home runs and RBIs haven't changed, but his average has gone down slightly since not getting a hit in that first at bat. And he falls behind here immediately. Counts 0-1. Descalzo has formerly played for the Cardinals, the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, and now the Cubs. He signed in the 2018-2019 offseason. This is his second year. First year that he's starting. He was a bench bat and a defensive replacement in his first year of his contract. And then the Cubs decided to sign Jason Kipnis to a minor league deal. Kipnis got hurt earlier on in the year, so Descalzo became the consistent second baseman, and Descalzo has done so well that after Kipnis got off the injured list, the Cubs decided to release him.
Bryant.
So 1 out, bottom of the fourth. Descalzo just grounded out. Here's Chris Bryant. Bryant 0 for 1. He lined out in the first inning. No base runners given up yet by Jack Flaherty. That's fouled off the count 0-1. Joel Cotton pitched 3 shutout innings, but gave up a 2-run home run to Paul DeYoung in the top of this fourth inning. Now the Cardinals have the lead. That's strike 2 on Chris Bryant. Bryant, a former most valuable player and rookie of the year, and he'll be entering free agency after this season.
Oh, that's out.
The Cubs will lose a few players to free agency this offseason, and that core that won the 2016 World Series might be broken apart. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Swing and a miss. Well placed pitch by Flaherty. Got him to chase that low breaking ball. Flaherty now with 6 strikeouts.
Now batting, first baseman, Anthony Rizzo.
2 outs now, bottom of the fourth. Anthony Rizzo walking up to the plate. Rizzo struck out back in the first inning. One of 6 strikeout victims of Jack Flaherty now. Counts 1-0. Rizzo still producing well. Ever since the injuries sustained by Contreras and Baez, Rizzo was moved to number 3 in the order. Bryant got moved to second in the order from the leadoff position, and that's also around the time they moved Descalzo to the leadoff position. But Rizzo grounds out there. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jack Flaherty after 4 full innings. It's the Cardinals 2 and the Cubs 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 6, 7, 8 hitters do it for the Cardinals to begin this half inning. Harrison Bader, Matt Wieters, and Dylan Carlson.
Nope, outside.
Bader 0 for 1. You see Alec Mills and Ryan Tepera warming up now in the Cubs bullpen, 2 righties. This is game 1 of a 3-game series between these 2 teams. And an important series as well in terms of the National League Central Division. The Cubs are 4.5 games back of the Cardinals at this point, so the Cubs still within reach of the division lead, just haven't found a way to secure it yet this year. The Cardinals have had a secure NL Central lead for most of the season. They've been the leaders in the NL Central ever since mid-May. 3 ball, no strike count. That finds the zone, counts 3-1. Yeah, the Cubs not out of it. Cubs still bordering a wild card spot as well, not quite in. So if the season ended today, the Cubs would not be in the playoffs. Counts full 3-2. The Cubs are a game out of the second wild card spot, currently occupied by the Marlins, and the Cubs 4.5 games back of the NL Central lead, so still within reach of playoffs, just right now not quite there, as that's off the glove of David Bodie. And Harrison Bader will most likely have a hit. That is ruled a hit. Harrison Bader credited with the leadoff single to start the 5th. Now here comes the number 7 hitter, Matt Wieters. Wieters is a switch hitter batting from the left side. He's 0 for 1 in this game. That's a strike, counts 0-1.
0-1 for count.
The Cardinals are coming off a 2-game sweep. But they didn't do the sweeping. They got swept by the Blue Jays in a 2-game set. The Cubs split a 4-game series with the Dodgers. 1 ball, 1 strike count. So as of right now, the Dodgers have the best record in the National League. The Dodgers are one of just 2 teams in all of Major League Baseball with 80-plus wins. As throw down by Contreras is in time. Well picked and short by David Bodie, and Bader is out trying to steal second. Not a bad jump, just a great throw from Contreras and a great pick and tag by Bodie. So 2 outs now, 1 out now, top of the 5th. So the leadoff runner erased. Leader's down to the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That pitch misses upstairs, counts even 2-2. And Cotton requesting to get a new baseball. So the Dodgers have the best record in the National League. And right now it's close between the Cardinals and the Braves for the next best record. So it's likely that it'll either be the Cardinals or Cubs playing the Braves or the Nationals in the first round of the playoffs. And the Dodgers, unless they go on a cold streak, if they go on a losing streak from August into September that badly that they give up that best record in the National League, the Dodgers are likely to have the best record in the National League when the postseason comes around. It's a full count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, called, well placed by Jarrell Cotton. So Harrison Bader hit a single,
Now batting.
then got caught stealing.
Dylan.
Matt Wieters here strikes out. Well placed pitch by Cotton. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Here is Dylan Carlson, switch hitter batting from the left side. He grounded out in his first at bat in the 3rd inning, and in this plate appearance, he fouls off the first pitch. Carlson, in the games he's played in, he has a .999 OPS. He most likely won't qualify for any league leaders, but he still impressed the Cardinals enough to be an everyday starter in right field. That is true, too, on that graphic. He was the July Rookie of the Month, and he played only half of July. He made his Major League debut against the Yankees right after the All-Star break finished up. And he's been the starting right fielder ever since. Jarrell Cotton has him down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Popped him up. Jammed him there. Contreras calls off Cotton. Makes the catch. That ends the top of the 5th inning. So no runs on a hit. And nobody left on base for the Cardinals. About halfway through this one, it's 2-0. The Cardinals lead the Cubs. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Gallegos, and there's Heidi Watney. Let's watch her move her lips. Very fascinating, Heidi. There's Jason Hayward, Cubs right fielder. There's David Ross, the first-time manager. Never managed a Major League team before, but got hired by the Cubs this past offseason, replacing Joe Madden. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Cubs in this half inning. Wilson Contreras, David Bodie, and then Kyle Schwarber. Contreras struck out back in the 2nd inning, one of many strikeout victims to Jack Flaherty. Swing and a miss, first pitch breaking ball.
1-1.
Jack Flaherty has that nasty slider to complement his high-velocity fastball.
Nope. Ball 1.
Sometimes it's difficult to gauge that, too, because you see the slider coming in. You might think it's a fastball at first, so you swing earlier, but then it just breaks away from you.
2 balls, 1 strike.
2 ball, 1 strike count on the Cubs starting catcher. That's hit high and deep toward right field. Carlson running back on it. He makes the catch. So a long out, number one.
Not shortstop, David.
And that'll bring up the number 5 hitter and shortstop for the Cubs in this game, David Bodie. He grounded out back in the second inning. That just misses inside, counts 1-0. Career versus Flaherty, Bodie is 0 for 5. This is the first full year that Bodie has started. He didn't get too much playing time last season, of course, because he's playing behind Chris Bryant. But with Javier Baez on the injured list, Bodie has been the consistent shortstop for the Cubs. It'll be anticipated to see where Bodie will play once Javier Baez comes back in the lineup. Bodie has done very well in the middle of the order for the Cubs this season. But in that at bat, he strikes out. Jack Flaherty now with 7 strikeouts. He is just mowing down hitters in this game. Another well-placed pitch. Looked like a fastball that tailed in a bit, but found the zone. So 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, and here comes Kyle Schwarber, who flew out back in the second inning. That's down low. The count's 1-0. The Cardinals got a 2-run home run from Paul DeJong in the top of the 4th inning. Been the only offense so far. Terrell Cotton's given up 3 hits and gave up 2 runs on that 1 home run. Jack Flaherty so far has yet to give up a base runner. It's been a good pitching matchup between both pitchers, minus the 1 mistake from Terrell Cotton. 2 ball, 1 strike count. On the ground right side, played by Paul Goldschmidt at first base. He steps on first himself. Schwarber's out. And that ends the 5th inning. The Cubs again go down 1-2-3. Jack Flaherty has pitched 5 scoreless innings. We'll go to the 6th. It's still 2-0. Cardinals lead it.
Your attention, please.
New pitcher coming in for the Cubs. It's Alec Mills, making his 50th appearance of the season. He has a 3.72 ERA in 75 innings pitched. And I also made a mistake just a bit ago. I said Terrell Cotton gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. That's incorrect. He gave up 2 runs on 4 hits.
Jack Flaherty
Gave up 2 hits to Paul Goldschmidt, gave up the homer to Paul DeJong, and then Harrison Bader had an RBI single as well. No ball, 1 strike count. 9-1-2 hitters do it for the Cardinals. Jack Flaherty, Matt Carpenter, and Colton Wong. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Jack Flaherty down on 3 pitches to start inning number 6. Alec Mills with a strikeout straight out of the bullpen.
The third baseman, number 13, Matt Carpenter.
Got to bring up Matt Carpenter with 1 out, and the base is empty. Cardinals leading this one 2-0. So Terrell Cotton pitched 5 full innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, and
Count 1-0.
at this moment, he is the losing pitcher. That's pending a Cubs comeback. 1-0 count on Matt Carpenter, who's 0 for 2 at the top of the Cardinals order in this game. 1 ball, no strike count. That's outside, and Carpenter now in a hitter's count. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Carpenter has the 3rd most home runs on the Cardinals with 19. He's behind Paul DeJong and Paul Goldschmidt. That's belted against the shift toward left field. That's going to one-hop the wall. It avoids the shrubbery out of the outfield by hitting that Cub on that plain green part of the wall, one of the doors out there. But Carpenter with a double.
The second baseman, Colton.
He's in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. With that, here comes the number 2 hitter, Colton Wong, who's 0 for 2 out of the 2 spot in the order. Wong, both times he's come up to the plate, has grounded out. Still has just 1 home run this season. No ball, 1 strike count. Foul off, and Alec Mills quickly ahead. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Colton Wong, a former first-round draft pick of the Cardinals. He was drafted in 2011 and made his debut in 2013. Inside, counts 1 and 2. Colton Wong, in his first full season in the big leagues, was treated to participating in the World Series. He was the starting second baseman for the Cardinals throughout most of the 2013 World Series. Actually, I take that back. That's not entirely true. Colton Wong had played some time at second base, but he came in as a pinch hitter regularly as well in that series against the Red Sox. Got it a short, slick play there by David Bodie. That's out number 2.
Now batting, the first baseman.
So Wong is out at first after a finesse type of play there by David Bodie at short. 2 outs, top of the 6th. And here comes Paul Goldschmidt with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And Goldschmidt, the major league leader in RBIs with 109. Also 2 for 2 in this game with a single and a double. Counts 1-0. Paul Goldschmidt on the year, too. 365 hitter with runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Counts even 1-1. This is Alec Mills' first inning out of the bullpen. Got an out, gave up a double, and then got the second out of the inning. Got Flaherty to strike out, gave up the double to Carpenter, and then Colton Wong got out. Now it's a 1-2 count on Paul Goldschmidt. Former National League All-Star. Made the All-Star team this year as well, for that matter. Sharp line drive into left, a base hit. Carpenter will be held at third as Schwarber gets that one in quickly. So Goldschmidt 3 for 3 in the game.
The bat, number 11.
With a high outside fastball. Not a bad pitch, but Goldschmidt just got around on it. Squared it up. And got himself a hit. Here comes Paul DeYoung now with 2 outs and runners on the corners. And with Paul Goldschmidt on second base in the 4th inning, DeYoung hit this home run. So far, those have been the only 2 runs that the Cardinals have scored in this game. Paul DeYoung in another run-scoring spot here. Carpenter on third, Goldschmidt on first. 2 outs, top of the 6th. It's outside, counts 1-0. DeYoung also hit his home run in the 4th inning with 2 outs. And DeYoung's second to Paul Goldschmidt for the RBI lead on the Cardinals. DeYoung has 90. Goldschmidt has 109. Swing and fouled off. The count even 1-1. Mills throwing in the low 90s consistently. That last pitch was 92 miles per hour. One ball, 1 strike count. That finds the zone. Now the count's 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on the corners. Mills with the pitch. Just a bit inside. That evens the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, 2-0 ball game. Check swing. And no swing according to the home plate umpire. Contreras does not appeal. But now the count is full 3-2. Goldschmidt should be running from first base. There goes Goldschmidt. And DeYoung grounds that one toward third. Bryant plays it, throws it from foul territory to Rizzo, and DeYoung out at first base. So the top of the 6th is over, and the Cardinals fail to score despite threatening. After 5.5 innings, it's the Cardinals 2 and the Cubs 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 7, 8, 9 hitters do it for the Cubs in this half inning. Jason Hayward, Ian Happ, and then the pitcher's spot right now occupied by Alec Mills. Jack Flaherty pitching into the 6th inning now. He's pitched 5 shutout innings and has yet to allow a base runner. He's been pitching very well. He also has 7 strikeouts at this point in the game. That one just misses, counts 2-0. Jack Flaherty up to 70 pitches now on his pitch count. He's been throwing efficiently. He's been getting rapid outs. 3-0's the count. Ball's behind Hayward early. Ian Happ's on deck. Despite the fact that Flaherty's pitching well, this is a game that the Cubs are still in reach up. Count 3-1. Hitter's count on Hayward. That misses low. That's ball 4. Jason Hayward walks. Jack Flaherty loses the perfect game. Had 5 perfect innings, but lets up his first base runner here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Ian Happ. So not only does Flaherty lose the perfect game, but now the tying run comes to the plate for the Cubs. Ian Happ, like so many others in the lineup, is 0 for 1. As a matter of fact, Ian Happ, like everybody in the Cubs lineup to this point in the game, is 0 for 1 or has no hits. No ball, 1 strike count. That's outside. Counts even 1-1. That's fouled off. Flaherty heading the count. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's fouled off. The count still at 1-2. And Happ hit by the pitch. Flaherty spun that breaking ball a little too far.
The pitcher, number 30.
Now the Cubs gain some momentum. Runners on first and second and nobody out against Flaherty, who seemed invincible. Let up no base runners through 5 full innings. And now here comes a pinch hitter for the Cubs. It's the backup catcher, Victor Caratini. So Caratini will bat with 2 on and nobody out. Caratini, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. They're going to foul ball, the count 0-1. Another strategy David Ross could have used was using the pitcher to punt over Hayward and Happ. But Ross being aggressive, sending a pinch hitter to the plate. Potentially drive in those runs. Counts 0-2 now. No ball, 2 strike count. Flaherty's pitch. Swing and a miss, so Caratini down on 3 straight pitches. That's 8 strikeouts for Jack Flaherty now.
The second baseman.
1 out.
Descalzo.
Here comes Daniel Descalzo, the leadoff hitter for the Cubs. He struck out and grounded out in this game so far. That pitch misses inside, counts 1-0. Jason Hayward walked to open up the inning, and Happ followed with a hit by pitch. Caratini just struck out, so 2 on, 1 out. Descalzo at the plate, and he's ahead in the count. It's 1-0. Swing and a miss, counts even 1-1. That's upstairs, counts 2-1. Descalzo ahead in the count. The potential tying run is at first base. Swing and a miss. Counts even 2-2. Tenth spot here on a pivotal spot in this game for both teams. Inside, counts full 3-2. Not a good look for the Cardinals on deck. Chris Bryant would bat next. Descalzo seems a little chapped as well. A couple pitches. A run inside. Swing and a miss. That's a huge strikeout for Jack Flaherty. Descalzo whiffed on the breaking ball, or the off-speed pitch. It looked like a changeup. 9 strikeouts now for Jack Flaherty. So the first 2 hitters of the inning reached base. And then Flaherty struck out the next 2. Here's Chris Bryant, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th.
0-1.
Too high, counts 1-0. Bryant, one of the many strikeout victims of Jack Flaherty in this game. He's also grounded out. 0 for 2 officially. Flaherty bordering 90 pitches now as Bryant swings and misses at that one. Count is 1-1. Jack Flaherty trying to work out of his own jam. Just a bit low, counts 2-1. Two ball, 1 strike count. Strike 2 called, counts even now 2-2. Strike 3 called. A masterful job by Jack Flaherty. Let the first 2 runners reach base, but then struck out the next 3. He has 10 strikeouts now. The no-hitter still preserved. We'll go to the 7th.
Your attention, please.
Bryant Tepera on the mound for the Cubs now. Making his 70th appearance of the year. He has a 3.82 ERA and 68 1/3 innings pitched. 5, 6, 7 hitters do it for the Cardinals to begin this half inning.
The left fielder,
Tommy Edman, Harrison Bader, and Matt Wieters. Edman, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He takes strike 1 to open up the 7th. It's been a well-pitched ball game from both sides to this point. Jack Flaherty doing it all himself. Right now the Cubs have used a combination of Jarrell Cotton, Alec Mills, and Ryan Tepera. Jarrell Cotton gave up a 2-run home run to Paul DeYoung in the 4th inning. That's a high fly ball out toward right field. Hayward running back on it. Hayward makes the catch. That's out number 1 in the top of the 7th inning.
Now batting, the center fielder, Harrison.
But it has been a well-pitched ball game despite that 2-run home run given up by Cotton. Alec Mills got into some trouble in the 5th, but, excuse me, in the 6th. Alec Mills got into some trouble. Oh, no, he didn't. Never mind. It was the 5th inning. I can't remember, actually. But counts 1-0 on Harrison Bader. But there was another inning that the Cardinals were threatening to score. They got runners on the corners, but... Oh, yeah, it was last inning. It was the 6th inning. And Alec Mills pitched out of it. 1 ball, no strike count. Counts 2-0 now. Two ball, no strike count. That's too high. Count is 3-0. Bader well ahead, 3-0 count. That's inside. That's ball 4. So Bader reaches with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Bader has now reached 2 times in this game. He hit a single in his last at-bat and just walked in that plate appearance. Strike counts 0-1. But yeah, the Cardinals were threatening against Alec Mills last inning. They left runners on the corners and failed to add to their 2-0 lead. Terrell Cotton pitched 5 full innings. Gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits. And right now he's in line for the loss. No ball, 1 strike count. Swing and a miss, counts 0-2. Matt Wieters the one hitting. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side of the plate and doing the catching for the Cardinals in this game.
Ball in.
Just missed, counts 1-2. One ball, 2 strike count on Matt Wieters, who's 0 for 2 in this game, facing Ryan Tepera for the first time in this game. In the dirt, walked by Contreras. Kept it in front of him, but Bader takes second base anyway. That'll go down as a wild pitch, and now Harrison Bader's in scoring position, and with his speed, he would likely score on a single. Two balls, 2 strikes. That's fouled off. The count's still even 2-2. Matt Wieters starting at the catcher position because Yadier Molina is on the injured list. 2-2 pitch. That's fouled off again, so this plate appearance extended a little bit further. Count still even 2-2. Fouled off. The count still even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just a bit inside. Almost hit Wieters. Counts full 3-2. Dylan Carlson would bat next. Matt Wieters jogged a bit with Wilson Contreras after that last pitch. A couple of pitchers on both sides have tested the limits of the inside part of the plate. Some hitters seem to be getting a bit tense, but nothing that's sparked controversy yet. That's inside. That's ball 4. And Matt Wieters walks, putting runners at first and second with 1 out.
The right fielder.
So the double play in order now for the Cubs, but a hot hitter will come to the plate for the Cardinals. It's Dylan Carlson. 0 for 2 in this game, but with this plate appearance, he has an opportunity come through and pat on that Cardinals lead. Swing and a miss, counts 0-1. Carlson, a switch hitter, batting from the left side of the plate. Bader, a quick runner on second. Again, he'd likely score even on a single. Runner goes. That misses low. Thrown out to third by Contreras. Is in time. Bryant applied the tag. That's the second time this game that Bader's got thrown out trying to steal. He tried to steal second. Didn't work out. And he tried to steal third there. Wieters is able to advance from first to second on the play, but that's not considered a stolen base. Wieters advances on what is ruled defensive indifference. Or you could classify it as a fielder's choice as well. 1 ball, 2 strike count. That's fouled off. The count's still 1-2. So now 2 outs in the half inning. Matt Wieters in scoring position at second base. Carlson still the one at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Check swing, but the home plate umpire says he swung at it. It was a committed swing. And Ryan Tepera works out of a minor jam. And the Cardinals fail to score in the top of the 7th. It's stretch time here at Wrigley Field. The home team not winning. The Cardinals still lead the Cubs. It's 2-0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up to start this inning for the Cubs. It's Anthony Rizzo, the first to bat, and he'll be followed by Wilson Contreras and David Bodie.
Count 1-0.
Jack Flaherty has pitched 6 no-hit innings. He's coming into the 7th. So that's still intact. He lost the perfect game last inning when he walked Jason Hayward. He also hit Ian Happ, so the Cubs not only were on the brink of Flaherty losing the no-hitter, breaking up the no-hitter, but they also were in a position to potentially tie the game. Andrew Miller on the left, Jordan Hicks on the right. They're both warming up. Miller, one of the setup pitchers, and Hicks the closer. But Flaherty still has a no-hitter, still has a shutout going. And for the Cardinals' sake, the Cardinals still have the lead. Counts 2-1 on Rizzo. The Cardinals have 2 pitchers warming up just in case, but right now Mike Schilt trusting Jack Flaherty to continue to pitch strongly. Flaherty has struck out 10 batters to this point in the game. 10 batters through 6 innings. Low and in, counts full 3-2. Wilson Contreras, the batter on deck for the Cubs. Here's the 3-2 pitch coming. Inside, ball 4. Good discipline from Anthony Rizzo. He works a leadoff walk. So leadoff runner on. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. Wilson Contreras will come to the plate. Contreras is 0 for 2 out of the 4 spot in the order. And so no hitter aside at this point. The Cubs have a potential tying run at the plate. The Cardinals do not have a safe lead by any means, especially with this Cubs team that has several strong offensive players. Counts 0-1, and Contreras 5 for 26 against Jack Flaherty, and he has 13 strikeouts. Flaherty about to reach the century mark in pitch count, and the 100th pitch is popped into the air. Dylan Carlson in right center makes the catch. That's out number 1, and Anthony Rizzo goes back to first base.
The batter, number 13.
1 out, bottom of the 7th.
David.
And here's David Bodie. Bodie 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out in this game. One of 10 strikeout victims to Jack Flaherty. It's outside, counts 1-0. One ball, no strike count on the Cubs starting shortstop. Swing and a miss.
Got a ball, 1 strike.
Counts even 1-1. Anthony Rizzo on first. He walked to open up this half inning, and that pitch is ripped well out toward right center field. Bader on the run. Bader makes the catch. And Rizzo will retreat back to first base. 2 outs now, bottom of the 7th.
Now batting.
And that'll bring up the number 6 hitter in the order, Kyle Schwarber. So Giovanni Gallegos now warms up in the Cardinals bullpen, replaces Jordan Hicks. Schwarber's 0 for 2. Schwarber, like everybody else in this Cubs lineup, has no hits.
1-0.
Schwarber 4 for 22 off Flaherty, and he struck out 7 times. Seems that Flaherty has the knack for striking out Cubs hitters. Flaherty struck out 10 in this game alone. 1-0 pitch. Outside, counts 2-0, and a dangerous count now on Schwarber, who has the swing and the power behind that swing to tie this game up. Two-0 count. That's outside, counts 3-0. Jason Hayward would bat next. Rio pitch finds the zone. As a matter of fact, that went right down the middle. Counts 3-1. Flaherty at 107 pitches. He's thrown 62 strikes. So he's pitching efficiently, and he's finding the zone. He's also struck out 10 batters. So That says enough in itself. Hitters count for Schwarber 3-1, and he swings right over that pitch. Chased it low in the zone. Counts full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rizzo goes from first. Swing and a miss. Jack Flaherty got Schwarber to chase the high fastball. Flaherty now has 11 strikeouts and the no-hitter still intact. Flaherty's pitched 7 no-hit innings. We'll go to the 8th. It's 2-0. The Cardinals lead. Kyle Ryan comes out of the bullpen for the Cubs.
Number 56. Kyle.
Ryan making his 69th appearance of the season. Has a 4.10 ERA and 59 in the 3rd innings pitched.
For the Cardinals. Number 7. Andrew Kinsner.
So here's Andrew Kinsner. He's batting for Jack Flaherty, so Flaherty will not pitch a no-hitter by himself. Which is a reasonable move by Schilt as well, because Flaherty went well over 100 pitches. So Flaherty relieved by a pinch hitter, and some of the back-end arms of the bullpen still warming up. Andrew Miller and Giovanni Gallegos out there. As that pitch is popped up, Daniel Descalzo makes the catch. That's out number 1.
Now batter, third baseman, Matt Carpenter.
So 1 out, top of the 8th. Back to the top of the order for the Cardinals. It's Matt Carpenter, who's 1 for 3. He doubled in his last at bat. Bordering a 300 average, he's right at 299. That's a strike, counts 0-1. Carpenter been around the Cardinals since 2012. He's played for no other teams. He switched positions a few times, though, on this team. He's able to play first, second, and third base. As that is hit against the shift for the 2nd time this game, Carpenter beats the shift. That's up against the Ivy. Played by Schwarber, but he won't stop Carpenter from getting extra bases. That's a double for Matt Carpenter. He's in scoring position with 1 out in the top of the 8th.
Colton Wong.
So both Carpenter's hits in this game have been doubles. There's Colton Wong. That's a soft liner out towards center. Happ plays it on the hop. Carpenter being sent home. Happ's throw is cut off by Anthony Rizzo. And with Colton Wong's first hit of the game, he extends the Cardinals' lead. It's 3-0.
Now that's the first baseman, Goldschmidt.
That was a slider that just hung over the middle of the plate. Carpenter hustled all the way. Happ, you see there, he stuttered for a bit before throwing it.
Now pitching for the
And that allowed Carpenter to score from second base. And Kyle Ryan taken out of the game. Michael Lorenzen comes in, making his 40th appearance of the year. Has a 4.23 ERA and 38 in the 3rd innings pitched. And those are some combined stats. Michael Lorenzen started this season with the Reds. And before the trade deadline, Lorenzen was traded to the Cubs. So still in the NL Central, but pitching for a team that is in contention for a playoff run this year. The Reds, not mathematically eliminated, but they've been struggling for most of the year. And it's likely that they will miss playoffs again this season. That's out toward right field. Paul Goldschmidt lines out to Jason Hayward. That's out number 2. So Goldschmidt will not have a perfect day, but 3 for 4 still respectable. 2 outs, top of the 8th.
Paul DeYoung.
Colton Wong still on first, and here's Paul DeYoung. DeYoung started scoring for the Cardinals by hitting a 2-run home run in the 4th inning with Paul Goldschmidt on second base. Colton Wong on first with 2 outs. That's popped into the air. Ian Happ is under it. He makes the catch. And so the Cubs limit the damage in that half inning, but Cardinals still scored a run. Colton Wong got an RBI single. And after 7.5 innings, the Cardinals lead this game 3-0. So a new pitcher on the mound for the Cardinals. It's Andrew Miller, making his 43rd appearance of the year. He has a 1.30 ERA and 41 2/3 innings pitched. So the Cardinals still have a no-hitter coming into this bottom of the 8th inning. Jack Flaherty walked Jason Hayward in Hayward's last plate appearance. That was back in the 6th inning. It's outside, counts 1-0. The Cubs have had a few runners reach base on walks, and there was one hit by pitch. But still no hits. Jack Flaherty was almost at 110 pitches. He pitched 7 full innings. Struck out 11 batters. Didn't give up a hit. Inside, counts 2-1. But Flaherty was relieved by a pinch hitter in the top of the 8th inning, so the bullpen taking over here. The Cubs still within reach of this game, too, so while the no-hitter is important, winning this game for the Cardinals is definitely more important. Counts even 2-2. Swing and a miss. So Andrew Miller starts where Jack Flaherty left off. Now getting a strikeout. With that, there's the line score for Flaherty. 7 full innings, no runs on no hits, walked 2 batters, hit a batter 2, but struck out 11 on 109 pitches. Flaherty in line for the win and at least set the table for the Cardinals to throw a combined no-hitter. No ball, 1 strike count on Ian Happ, switch hitter batting from the right side for the first time in this game against the lefty Miller. Grounded right side, there's Paul Goldschmidt, flips to Miller. It's a foot race that Miller wins. That's out number 2.
The pitcher, number 21, Michael.
So 2 outs, bottom of the 8th.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And Michael Lorenzen will be relieved by a pinch hitter. It's Nico Horner coming off the bench and getting his first plate appearance of the game in here. Nico Horner, rookie middle infielder for the Cubs. He was one of their top prospects. Made his major league debut last season. This year still a regular bench bat. Nowhere for him to start yet with the infield being the way it is. Rizzo at first, Descalzo at second, Bodie/Baez at short, and Bryant at third base.
2 balls, no strikes.
2-0 count. First time manager David Ross there. Not even managing the Cubs for the first time, but this is the first season that he's ever managed a major league team. 2 ball, no strike count. That finds the zone, counts 2-1. Ross played for the Cubs for a few seasons. He was specifically the catcher when John Lester would pitch. Those two were battery mates back on the 2013 champion Red Sox team. And Ross also won the World Series with the Cubs in 2016, the year before David Ross retired. That's fouled off, the count still even 2-2. Ross retired after that 2016 season. Spent a few years in retirement away from baseball, but was hired by the Cubs this past off-season. Swing and a miss. Andrew Miller strikes out 2 of the 3 batters he faces in the 8th inning. And the combined no-hitter for the Cardinals still intact. After 8 full innings, it's the Cardinals 3 and the Cubs 0.
Your attention, please.
New pitcher on the mound now for the Cubs. It's Rowan Wick, making his 38th appearance of the year. He has a 3.73 ERA and 31 in the 3rd innings pitch. This is the 5th pitcher that's come out of the Cubs bullpen.
Tommy Edman.
Terrell Cotton responsible for 2 of the earned runs the Cardinals scored, and Kyle Ryan responsible for the 3rd. 1 ball, no strike count on Tommy Edman. Edman 0 for 3 out of the 5 spot. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side of the plate. Playing left field in this game. Edman, a versatile player. He's naturally a shortstop, but with all the infield positions occupied at this moment by veterans of the Cardinals, Edman has been converted to be an outfielder. You can see him in left field and right field, but in this game specifically, he's starting out in left. Counts 3-0.
No strike.
Harrison Bader's on deck. Bader's reached a couple times in this game. He's also got caught stealing twice. That just misses low. Ball 4, and Rowan Wick walks the leadoff batter of this half inning.
Up next for the Cardinals, the center fielder, Harrison.
So nobody out, runner on first, and here comes Harrison Bader, who's 1 for 2. He got a single in the 5th inning and then walked in his most recent plate appearance. 1 for 2 officially in this game. Pick off attempt to first. It gets away from Rizzo, but Edman not going anywhere. He's just content with staying at first base and not getting picked off.
Nope.
That can't find his zone. The count's 1-0.
Counts 1-0.
Tommy Edman is a quick runner. Not a consistent stolen base threat, but he does have the quickness to swipe a base if he wants to. Still a relatively close game. It's a 3-run game. The Cardinals are leading. 98 from Wick there as that one's fouled off. Count even now 1-1. Harrison Bader, a former top prospect of the Cardinals. Great defensive center fielder. And he runs well as well. Though in this game, he's been stifled. Got caught stealing twice. Tried to steal second base once and tried to steal third the other time. One-two pitch. Foul tip into the mid of Contreras, so that'll go down as a strikeout. Harrison Bader out. That's the first out of the top of the 9th inning.
Matt Weeder.
That looked like a hanging breaking ball. Or no, yeah, it looked like a hanging breaking ball for a second there. Then it dropped toward the middle of the plate, but Bader could not get a good piece of the bat on the ball. He got a piece of it, but right in the mid of Contreras. So 1 out, top of the 9th. There's Matt Wieters. Wieters 0 for 2. He walked in the 7th inning. The only time he's reached base in this one, and he takes strike 1 there. Wick throwing in the high 90s. He threw a couple at 98. That last one was 95. No ball, 1 strike count. That's fouled off the count now 0-2. This is game 1 of a 3-game series between these two teams. It's an important series for the Cubs. Sharp liner towards center, right at Ian Happ, though. He makes the catch, and Edman will retreat back to first base. He didn't tag, but he goes back. He's safe. Now 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning.
Now batting, right fielder, Dylan.
And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter and right fielder of the Cardinals, Dylan Carlson. But this is important for the Cubs because they're 4.5 games back of the division lead that the Cardinals have. So winning this series is important, though game 1 not starting off well for them. There's been no hit through 8 innings. First pitch to Carlson is taken for a ball. Counts 1-0. But the Cubs not only still have a grasp on the division lead, right now they're a game back of the second wildcard spot. So their playoff hopes in general will be hanging in the balance of this last month and a half, the rest of August, and then the games in September. The Cardinals are likely to make playoffs, though it's not certain that the division is theirs, though they've been leading since mid-May. It counts 3-0.
3-0.
That's ball 4, so Dylan Carlson reaches base on a walk. That puts runners at first and second. With 2 outs in the pitcher spot coming to the plate. Edman on second now, and Carlson on first. See what Mike Schultz decides to do.
Your attention, please.
There will be a pinch hitter coming to the plate, and it's Lane Thomas.
Number 35.
Lane Thomas, an outfielder on this Cardinals team. He's been a consistent bench bat this entire season. But has put up good numbers. 280 average, 6 homers, and 28 RBIs. Picks ball one inside. Rowan Wick pitching in his first inning, and he's run himself into a bit of trouble with 2 outs. Swing and a miss on that breaking ball. Counts even 1-1. So with a base hit here, Thomas has the opportunity to break this game open. The Cubs still in reach at this moment. 1-1 count. That's inside. Counts 2-1. Rowan Wick still throwing with high velocity. That last pitch was 98 miles per hour. 2-1 strike count. Line drive toward the right side, but that'll go foul. That evens the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Edman on second. Carlson on first. In the dirt. Blocked by Contreras, and neither runner tries to advance. So the count full now 3-2, and both runners expected to be on the move on this next pitch. And Matt Carpenter is on deck for the Cardinals. Three balls, 2 strikes. Both runners go. And that's hit in the air out toward right field. Hayward running back, seems to be tracking it, and he's able to make the catch. So that's out number 3. The Cardinals fail to score again after threatening, but they still have a 3-0 lead going into the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Cubs, who have yet to get a hit.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, a new pitcher on the mound for the Cardinals.
Now pitching.
Giovanni Gallegos making his 47th appearance of the year.
Giovanni
Has a 2.34 ERA in 42 1/3 innings pitched, and he's 40 for 43 in save opportunities this year. He'll face the top of the order for the Cubs. Descalzo, Bryant, and Rizzo. So not only is Giovanni Gallegos looking for the save, he's also in a position to finish out the Cardinals' combined no-hitter. Jack Flaherty pitched 7 full innings through 109 pitches, gave up no runs on no hits, walked a couple batters, hit a batter, but struck out 11. Andrew Miller pitched a scoreless 8th inning, also struck out 2 batters, so Gallegos responsible for finishing it all off. Counts 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
The Cubs still not out of this game, though. It's still a game within reach, so if they can get a couple runners on base and get a big swing, they could tie this game.
2-2.
There's still a tense moment in terms of winning the ball game for the Cardinals, but they are in position to make history as well. 2-ball, 2 strike count. Top foul, the count still even 2-2. Descalzo batting against his former team, was a World Series champion in 2011, was also a part of the Cardinals team that made it to the World Series in 2013. 2-ball, 2 strike count. On the ground toward the middle. Bobbled at shortstop by Paul DeYoung. Not in time, and we'll see what the scorer's decision on that is. It's a base hit, and that's it. The first hit for the Cubs comes in the 9th inning off Giovanni Gallegos. A borderline error by Paul DeYoung, who bobbled the ball at shortstop, couldn't pick it up cleanly, but the official ruling by the scorers is a single. Cardinals were 1 inning away from throwing a combined no-hitter, but it does not happen in this game, and that'll bring up Chris Bryant. Now the focus for the Cardinals needs to reset to winning the ball game. Chris Bryant 0 for 3 out of the 2 spot in the order, and he swings and misses in strike 1. There have been no no-hitters thrown by a single pitcher this season. But the last no-hitter that was combined was thrown back in April by the Los Angeles Angels. Tyler Glasnow, Ty Buttrey, and Hansel Robles were responsible for throwing the combined no-hitter for the Angels on that day. 1-ball, 1 strike count. Swing and a miss, counts 1-2.
Count 1-2.
Game one of a 3-game series between these two teams, and quite an important series for the Cubs. That pitch misses inside, counts even 2-2. Swinging a line drive toward right center. Carlson running. He makes the catch. And Daniel Descalzo goes back to first base. 1 out, top of the 9th.
The first baseman, number 44, Anthony Rizzo.
That'll bring up Anthony Rizzo, who's 0 for 2. He reached base on a walk back in the 7th inning. The Cubs still not out of this game. Another runner can reach base, and a batter can get a big swing, maybe hit a home run. The game could change quickly. Gallegos still with an opportunity to save this game as he fouls that pitch off. As Rizzo fouls that pitch off. But this is a save opportunity for Gallegos, who's blown 3 saves but has earned 40. He's been one of the top closers in the National League this season. That's popped into the air. Actually, I shouldn't say popped because that was hit a long way. Carried out to left field, but it's caught by Edman. He makes the catch.
The catcher, number 40, Wilson.
Descalzo goes back to first. That's out number 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Cubs now with 1 out to work with, and here is Wilson Contreras. Contreras 0 for 3 out of the cleanup spot in this game.
Ball 1, no strike.
It's ball 1. Giovanni Gallegos, former starting pitching prospect in the Yankees organization, was traded to the Cardinals for Luke Voigt. Cardinals also got Chase and Shreve in that deal, but he didn't amount to much. Gallegos was put in the bullpen last season, thrived there, and this season with Jordan Hicks on the injured list, Gallegos became the closer, and because he's done so well, he stayed in the position, and he strikes out Wilson Contreras. This ball game is over. The Cardinals not celebrating history, but they do pick up the win in this game against a division rival. The Cardinals pitching staff as a team gave up 1 hit. The offense scored 3 runs. And there's Jack Flaherty, who earned the win in this game. He pitched 7 full innings, gave up no runs on no hits, struck out 11 batters. Andrew Miller pitched a scoreless 8th. Giovanni Gallegos gave up 1 hit in the 9th, but didn't give up a run, allowing himself to solidify the save, his 41st of the season. Flaherty improves to 12-9, and Jarrell Cotton falls to 10-3.
Our final line score this afternoon.
So a pretty brief summary for this game. Nothing from the Cubs' offensive side. They got 1 hit in the game. Daniel Descalzo responsible for getting that 1 hit. The Cubs failed to score at all. They got shut out. The Cardinals got 2 runs on a Paul DeYoung home run in the 4th inning. They also scored a run in the 8th inning on a Colton Wong RBI single. That's pretty much it. Jack Flaherty, the star of this show today, got 7 full innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, no runs. Walked 2 batters, and he hit a batter, but had a masterful performance through 7 full innings. He earned the win in this one. And Giovanni Gallegos got the save, his 41st of the season. Stellar game from the Cardinals in this one, and they won this one 3-0. This has been a production of Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game and all of our games are presented to you by MLB The Show 20. Or brought to you, I should say, by MLB The Show 20. My name's Nicholas Callis. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel. MLB Virtual Network is the name. And you can follow us on Twitter as well. @VirtualMLB is the handle. But so long from Wrigley Field. Once again, the final score, the St. Louis Cardinals 3 and the Chicago Cubs 0.